But yeah, this does not do it for me. How's it hanging, everybody? My name is Voting End, and welcome back to Black Ops 7. Today we're going to be going over Season 4 Reloaded. I want to keep this video kind of short and sweet, but we're going to be going over the content that came out with Season 4 Reloaded, and just all the things that kind of changed. I'm not going to dive into like patch notes and stuff, but with any kind of huge content update as they do throughout the season, specifically in the Reloaded and the starts of seasons, there's always a lot of different stuff that they add in, so I kind of wanted to go over it because Black Ops 7 has been a game where we have had, honestly, a ton of content. So going over each thing that changed and just some of the cool additions they added, that's the point of today's video. So let's dive right in. So starting off with one of the first new items of the Season 4 Reloaded update, this is the daily login rewards. Now this is something that Call of Duty has done in the past. I can't really remember exactly which games they've done this throughout, but I do remember this being a pretty standard feature. Sometimes they add in login rewards, so right now we have the daily login reward. I realize my webcam is probably blocking like the first 2 days up there, but if you log in throughout 7 separate days throughout, the next 14 days, it started about 2 days ago, but 12 days left. If you log in 7 different times, you're able to access, all these different rewards. So like day 1, our XP token, day 2, the loaded and locked emblem, you have more double XP tokens, some stickers, calling cards, and then at the very end, if you log in for all 7 days, you will get the Catharsis weapon blueprint for the X9 Maverick, and it's pretty cool. It's honestly nothing fancy. I feel like it kind of makes sense. It's just a daily login reward, so the actual end reward isn't going to be like anything super crazy, but they also add 7 different, Battle Pass skip tokens for the Season 4 Battle Pass, so that's not bad. My guess as to why they've added this in is probably because with the continuation of Black Ops 7, I feel like more and more people have kind of stopped playing this game simply because people are kind of tired of where Call of Duty is right now, and as a franchise, I frankly don't blame them. While, Black Ops 7 has been pretty much the most content we've seen in any Call of Duty game thus far, it really seems like player retention is falling off, and they're not, keeping the player base they want to. So this is kind of a cool incentive to get people to come back. I play a fair amount of this game. I pretty much only play Call of Duty if you've, watched most of my videos. But, I'll be collecting all these rewards, but an interesting addition nonetheless. Now, the next thing I wanted to go over is the weekly challenges. So throughout all the seasons thus far, they have done weekly challenges. So every Thursday when it updates, the game updates with its, weekly content refresh, they add in new sets of challenges. And this is not the first time we've seen this system. This is the second iteration of this kind of weekly challenge system. The first game was Modern Warfare 3 in 2023, and I absolutely loved that system. It was new, it gave you an opportunity to grind and work towards different things, specifically aftermarket parts in Modern Warfare 3, but in this one, they're just called like, different, not necessarily aftermarket parts, but I think that's the best way to describe them, because they're not prestige parts, but they are, different additions to different weapons that actually fundamentally change how the weapon works. Or, in the case of like week 3, new score streaks with the Iron Rain, and we've seen this kind of stuff before, and then they always end off the last week of every set of weekly challenges. So in this case, it'll be week 7 with like a weapon blueprint. So you have 6 weeks, or, if you're talking about like last season, it would have been 8 weeks of new parts, new attachments, new score streaks, and then that last week, this time being week 7, last season it was week 9, just like a standard weapon blueprint. So like with this season, if you complete all 7 weekly challenges, you get this camo called Slick, and if you complete 3, you get Good Eats. The Good Eats camo is kind of cool. It's reactive. It's well, not reactive, but it's animated, moves around pretty cool. I'm actually kind of hyped on Slick because if you take a look at this camo, you'll probably recognize, maybe you've seen this camo before, and you probably have, and that is because this is an animated version of Damascus from Modern Warfare 2019. I'm not surprised that they've thrown this our way. The announcement for Modern Warfare 4 just came out, and they're probably trying to shift people's focus to Modern Warfare 4, get people excited, and pay a little homage to Modern Warfare games that came before. But this week's weekly challenges, I did a couple of co-op and a couple of multiplayer, just to kind of flesh out which ones were the best to do. The reward, at least, is the XR3 Ion Vulcan minigun conversion kit. We're gonna go to the firing range because I did unlock this, and it is kind of a cool part, and this one like definitely fundamentally changes how the weapon works. So here we are in the firing range, and this is the minigun conversion kit for the Ion. It is a 3-round burst sniper rifle. It's essentially the predecessor to the P03 from Black Ops 3. But this one's kind of weird because this one really fundamentally changes how the weapon works. It no longer is a 3-round burst sniper rifle. It is a crossbar ADS style minigun, and we'll fire it up and, you know, shoot some targets. So a pretty cool concept altogether. It is like having a machine gun, you know, in your hands. I will say its range is not awesome, and its recoil control, it's tough. There's no doubt about that. But a very cool weapon nonetheless. I really haven't taken this out for a spin in multiplayer yet. I'm planning on doing that later, so maybe by the time I'm editing this video, I'll have some results if this is like, you know, worth your while to use. If I don't get a chance, I'm sure I'll address it in my next video, but pretty cool attachment overall. Quick update. I did try this in multiplayer. Unless your opponent has no idea what's going on, probably wouldn't use it. So next we're going to go into the event here. This is called the Uncaged event. It really does revolve around Nicolas Cage. If you watched my last video, there was a little teaser for this event. A fun idea is what I will say about this event. I am not a huge fan of the Call of Duty crossovers. They have had some cool ones in the past, don't get me wrong, but, you know, it just doesn't fit, if you ask me. I understand that, you know, they're trying to drive up sales and engagement and add kind of cool crossovers, but it still feels a little like Fortnite-y. And yes, Call of Duty has had some problems in the past of not remaining very grounded, especially when it comes to Treyarch games, you know, the Black Ops series. And that's really because, you know, Treyarch, they do create more arcade shooter style games, if that makes sense. There's always been, you know, that kind of like element of pushing boundaries when it comes to Treyarch games and what's realistic versus what's not. Now, don't get me wrong, Infinity Ward has dropped the ball too, like with Modern Warfare 3. There was a fair amount of crap in that game that really did not belong, and they lost staying grounded pretty quickly. Not as quickly as Black Ops 6, I will say. The Beavis and Butthead event, like the cartoon skins event, that was a bad move, if you ask me. But some pretty decent rewards throughout this event. I've already grinded pretty decently through last night and a little bit today. Some decent items. I don't think I'm gonna buy the premium track. I'm not like that crazy about, you know, getting the Nick Cage stuff. A couple years ago, I probably would have been like all over this, but, you know, preferences change, tastes change. If you buy the premium track, hey, all the power to you. I don't think I'm gonna spend my COD points on it. But there are some cool items in this event track. So you have the Executioner's Duet, new melee weapons. I really do like this kind of dual axe thing. Pretty cool, seems very grounded, very realistic. And then lastly, the AN-94 assault rifle making its return. It was very, very iconic in Black Ops 2, and as well as, you know, a couple of other games throughout the years. You know, it was in Modern Warfare 2019. I'm pretty sure it was in Modern Warfare 3. It went by a different name, but the AN-94, very happy to see its return. I can't wait to use this and test it out and see what it does. Additionally, there is another event going on right now. It is a Zombies exclusive. It is for the new map called Kwakajo. I think I'm saying that right. Maybe I am, maybe I'm not. But it's like a leaderboard event that they have kind of revamped. This game did a lot of like restructure when it came to leaderboard events. A lot of people, including myself, didn't really like how the leaderboard events were structured, so it's nice to see that they're kind of changing it. I might jump in and try this. I usually only play zombies for camo challenges, like with the illicit cargo challenge, but this camo right here, Embers of War, it actually looks really sick. So I might grind this event because I do like this camo. Now moving along to the next big area of content that they've updated, that is the Endgame operations. The Endgame operations are a relatively new addition within about the past 2 seasons. And when this game first came out, I honestly grinded a lot of Endgame. I had a really good time. It was new, it was kind of exciting. It felt like a cross between like a lighter version of DMZ mixed with that Modern Warfare 3 zombies style gameplay, so it was kind of cool to see. And they've added, you know, a new operation with Season 4 Reloaded, that is Operation King Killer. I am still actually working on Operation Wallbreaker. I pretty much got it all done in one go. The last thing I have to do for this one is to do the Command Killer glitch, so I'll be jumping into that at some point, and I might record it. That could be a kind of a cool upload. If I do, it'll likely be like a no face cam, no commentary kind of thing, just, you know, gameplay you can throw on if you just want to watch how it's done. My phone just went off. That's great. Might have to re-record that part. But the King Killer event, this one is going to be a little tougher to complete because it starts in Zone 3, and I was looking through the challenges last night, and the first one I saw is destroy a VTOL with a melee weapon. I don't know how exactly I'm going to do that. I have an idea. It involves the ballistic knife and that legendary rarity, so more to come on how to do that. I don't think it should actually be too difficult. If you do like a VTOL hunt in Zone 3, maybe landing on top of the VTOL and smashing it from there. But the rest of these challenges seem pretty straightforward. They just require a lot of different styles of gameplay, so different work with score streaks, weapons, things like that. And then the final like achievement for this operation is to complete the terminal vector activity and then enter the glitch and defeat the glitch boss. So prime target. I will say I think the blueprint looks pretty sick. And the camos, there's like one static and then one animated, and they both do look pretty cool. So I'll be jumping into this, but like I said, I do have to finish Operation Wallbreaker first. And I did touch on this briefly, but there is a new zombies map with Kuakujo. It is a Japanese theme map. It really centers around Takeo, one of the very central zombies operators. He's been a staple ever since the original Black Ops Zombies storyline. This map takes place at the base of a volcano, and the wonder weapon is a cat. Yes, I said that, a cat. And in case you don't believe me, we're going to go over to the store, and a bundle was released today that has this. That is the wonder weapon. Freaking cat. I'm trying to remain more positive about unrealistic things in this game because I do understand it, you know, it's a Treyarch game. They're willing to push the boundaries a little more of what's real and, you know, what's not real. Now, as far as the content that we've gotten this season, including pre-Season 4 Reloaded and post-Season 4 Reloaded, I think there's been a lot of good content, you know, with the weekly challenges. We've had the Grimhawk, the Argus lever for the M10 Breacher shotgun, we've had the Iron Rain, and now the Vulcan minigun conversion kit. There's a couple more that are coming out. One is like a conversion kit for the Velix 5.7, very similar to that Renetti conversion kit that we saw in Modern Warfare 3 2023. So that one will be pretty cool. And then to kind of round it all off with the new modes that got introduced with Season 3 Reloaded, we have the Team Blueprint Sharpshooter. So the weapons cycle every 45 seconds as a team, and you know, you just get kills with the different weapons that you cycle through. Kind of fun. It's almost like Team Gun Game, but a little bit different. So really cool there. We have the Season 4 Reloaded Mosh Pit. Primetime and Vertigo were two maps that we got at the beginning of the season, but we also have the remaster of Launch, which is a map we have not seen in many, many years. I think the last time we saw it was Black Ops 2. I believe they remastered it from Black Ops 1, so very cool to see that return. And a new map, it's a 6v6, it is called Zenith. I haven't played Zenith yet, but I'll probably jump in and see how it is and likely comment on it in another video. The Black Ops Classic mode is back. It came in at the beginning of the season, and it's actually received really, really good feedback. I haven't touched on this one a ton yet, but I do plan on playing a little bit more of this mode because it's a really like a return to boots on the ground Black Ops. It's very, very centered around like the movement, the field, the gunplay of Black Ops 2, which is really what this game I think is trying to do, is capitalize on people's nostalgia, because this is a direct sequel to Black Ops 2. The timeline's messy, but if you've been following Call of Duty for a while, it'll probably make sense. But all in all, that is about all we have as far as the Season 4 Reloaded content update goes. There were a ton of patch notes that were released for like Endgame, Zombies. A lot of those were bug fixes. Warzone is getting the return of the Champions Quest modes, so get 30 wins within a season or 5 wins consecutively, and you get to drop a nuke on Warzone, or the chance to activate the Champions Quest contract to drop a nuke. I probably won't be going for that, but hey, you never know. But sticking very briefly with the topic of patch notes, there were a couple of weapon balancing changes, and Treyarch did come out and say, like, hey, this game is beginning to enter, you know, the end of its life cycle, so we are not going to be like doing any like crazy weapon balancing changes, but more looking at like, what are the metas? What meta guns are performing really, really well, overperforming, and what weapons are underperforming, and doing, you know, small adjustments, rebalances there, just to kind of make sure there's a level playing field. We're getting closer and closer to Modern Warfare 4. So this game is, I don't want to say truly begun its sunset period, but with probably like Season 5 Reloaded, that's where we're really going to see the sunset period. Season 5 Reloaded is going to be like our last big batch of content we're going to get, and Season 6 is probably not going to be a ton. I don't think there's going to be any new zombies maps after Season 5, no new endgame operations, maybe even after this season. They did say that they had 4 seasons worth of content for endgame, so 5 and 6 we might not get a lot. And Season 6 is usually really centered around like the haunting events, Halloween. That's always really big with the Call of Duty games. I personally enjoy that. I'm excited to see what content they produce for that, but we have our eyes set on the horizons of Modern Warfare 4. I am ecstatic about that game, and more to come. So thank you guys so much for watching, and let me know what you think of the Season 4 Content Reloaded update. Very excited to continue working on videos and stuff like this, and just keeping you guys informed and sharing my thoughts and feelings. Take care. Peace.